Will this electrocute me?
Today I'm going to show you some streamers putting themselves in danger for clout and how somebody who looks like an idiot kick streamer might just be a marketing genius. Also, just in the case that any of my viewers are stupid, I'd like to tell you to not try any of this at home. Don't stick a fork or any other object into a toaster, and if you do so after watching this video, you're probably an idiot with a death wish. Without further ado, this is Boggles, a streamer gaining some traction across the internet with his latest stunt, which is sticking a fork into a toaster. Multiple times.
Death wish!
Now, I will admit, this one was actually a little bit funny. I didn't expect that at all. Now, one finding these clips, I had a concern, but I also came up with a theory on why this guy might be doing some clever marketing. But we'll get back to that in just a second, because this is Goose's Loose.
Yes! Fuck LeBron James! Ah!
There's a bit of a pattern here, and also as a side note, he shouted LeBron James while wearing a Cavaliers jersey. Just thought that was kind of funny. We also have this copycat here who decided to do exactly the same thing. I think you've seen enough for the minute, but one thing that may have slipped past the minds of some of the 10-year-olds watching these guys is that these are actually all fake. Now, that might be obvious to you, but let me just show you a couple of things. The whole Twitch stream crashing thing is just a still image, and you can tell because a streamer kept their chat overlay on top of the image. Now, I've been around and I've streamed my fair bit, and I can tell you that this image only shows up when your streaming software stops sending data. And then for the chat overlay to show, the streaming software would have to be running, which means that the stream didn't crash. And look, I think you get the point. But what I'm concerned about is the example that these guys are setting for young viewers. While I've showcased that some of these videos are fake, and some of you are probably smart enough to just see the sloppy editing yourselves, there's probably some kid out there who wants to be a famous streamer, and he actually tries to do this and ends up seriously hurting themselves. Now, before somebody says that these guys aren't that well known, and by me making a video about them, I'm just making them more popular and therefore becoming part of the systemic problem, I'll say that these guys are a lot more famous than I probably ever will be. And I'm just trying to give some insight here, alright? Also, they've reached iShow speed.
These girls are not shit!
Don't care anymore.
What are you doing?
When?
We all know that Speed's audience is huge and full of a young, impressionable bunch of children. And since Speed is already in communication with Goose, I wouldn't be surprised if one of his viewers just has a bad idea. And that leads into my theory. I think that these guys are trying to market themselves through what I would like to call the bystander pointing effect. For years now, streamers have been blowing up through live stream fails, which is a community on Reddit where people just post streamers, failing in some way, shape, or form. Some of these posts get tens of thousands of likes, and that's actually a crazy tool for some publicity. And as a lot of people know, hurt does equal funny sometimes, like how Electro Boom went viral 10 years ago.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
If you look at the YouTube titles for these guys, you'll see that the titles are in the third person. It's streamer does a thing instead of I did a thing. They're titling the videos in a way that by clicking, you're expecting a video with somebody like me pointing the finger and talking about them. There being some random guy on the internet saying, hey friend, look at this, instead of being, hey, look at me. It makes you just want to click that extra little bit more. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. In the end, please do not poke your toaster with any metal objects, but maybe poke the subscribe button safely.